Hi everyone, this is Sijus Bhaskar. I welcome you all to the CBC online classes. Today we are going to discuss about the first chapter of class 10 geography. The name of the chapter is Resources and Development. This is the second part of this chapter. In our first part, we have discussed about the resources, the meaning of resources, and the types of resources based on different criteria. Here we are going to study about the land resources and the major soil types in India. In the first part of this chapter, we have gone through the meaning and the different types of resources. An equitable distribution of resources has become essential for a sustained quality of life and global peace. If the present trend of resources depletion by a few individuals and countries continues, the future of our planet is in danger. Therefore, resource planning is essential for sustainable existence of all forms of life. Sustainable existence is a component of sustainable development. Planning is the widely accepted strategy for judicious use of resources. It has importance in a country like India, which has enormous diversity in the availability of resources. Resource planning is a technique or skill of proper utilization of resources. There are three stages in this process of resource planning. First one, identification and listing of resources. Second one, planning for exploitation. Third one, match resource development plans with national development plans. What are the importance of resource planning? What are the benefits we are getting from the process of resource planning? Actually, in the present world, resource planning is an important strategy for the attainment of sustainable development. It's necessary for the balanced development of India. Here are some points that shows the importance of resource planning. First one, some regions of India are rich in certain resources and poor in some other resources. Example, Rajasthan is poor in water resources but rich in solar and wind energy. If resource planning is there, we can make sure that the distribution, allocation, and utilization of resources is in a uniform manner throughout the country. Second one, some regions are self sufficient while other regions are very poor in important resources. Example, Madhya Pradesh is rich in many resources, but Ladakh is very poor in resources. Resource planning, through the process of resource planning, the allocation of resources will be uniform. The third one, wastage of resources can be avoided by resource planning. Fourth, environmental pollution. This is a serious problem faced by almost all countries of the world, and this problem can be reduced through the process of resource planning. Fifth one, over exploitation of resources, and this can also be avoided through the process of resource planning. The various uses of resources, the various processes of resource planning, and the various importance of resource planning, all these raises one important necessity, and that is resource conservation. Resource conservation means protection of resources from depletion. Planned use of resources in order to meet the present needs and to store a part of the future generation is called resource conservation. We should use the resources in a judicious way, and a part of the resources we should keep for the future generation, and this is known as resource conservation. It is necessary. Resource conservation is necessary because Many resources are non renewable and exhaustible. If we conserve them, we can use them for a long period of time. Second one, conservation of resources helps us to reduce wastage. It will help in economic progress. Third one, resource conservation helps us to protect the environment. So, resource conservation is an important concept, an important necessity in the present world. Let's have a look at the ideas of Gandhiji on resource conservation. He was against the policy of overexploitation of resources. According to Gandhiji, there is enough for everybody's need and not for anybody's greed. Greedy and selfish individuals and the exploitative nature of modern technology are the root cause for resource depletion. He was against mass production and wanted to replace it with protection by masses. We live on land, we perform our economic activities on land, and we use it in different ways. This land is a natural resource of utmost importance. It supports natural vegetation, wildlife, human life, economic activities, transport, and communication systems. However, land is an asset of a finite magnitude. Therefore, it's important to use the available land for various purposes with careful planning. We have shared our land with the past generations and will have to do so with the future generations too. 95% of our basic needs for food, shelter, and clothing are obtained from land. Human activities have not only brought about degradation of land, but have also aggravated the pace of natural forces to cause damage to land. Land degradation has become as a serious environmental issue nowadays. Land degradation means destruction caused to land by various means, by the means of human activities or by natural factors. There are some factors that cause to the land degradation, deforestation, industrial waste from factories, overuse of fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, and pesticides, quarrying, overgrazing by animals, and mining. These are the causes of land degradation. In these circumstances, it is important for the countries of the world to hold certain plans for the conservation of land resources. What are the land conservation methods? Some methods are enlisted here. First one, soil erosion can be prevented by ending deforestation, controlling grazing, encouraging afforestation, and practicing terrace farming in hilly areas. Second one, preparation of shelter belts of plants and stabilizing of sand dunes by growing thorny bushes will help to prevent land degradation in deserts. Third one, mining activities should be controlled. New technology which reduces wastages can be adopted. Next one, industrial waste should be chemically treated to remove the harmful substances and should not allow the harmful substances to mix with the land. Next one, urban waste should be used for the production of biogas and biomanure. Last one, over irrigation should be stopped and new method of irrigation should be followed. These are the methods what we can suggest for the conservation of land resources. Next topic we are going to study is soil as a resource. Soil is the most important renewable natural resource. It is the medium of plant growth and supports different types of living organisms on the earth. The soil is a living system. It takes millions of years to form soil up to a few centimeter in depth. What is the meaning of soil? What do you mean by soil? The uppermost layer of the earth's crust, which is loose, broken, and useful for plants, is called soil. Soil consists of mineral matter such as sand and clay, and organic matter such as humus, bacteria, and earthworms. Soil is formed mainly due to the process of weathering. As a result of weathering, a layer of loose rock materials is formed on the land surface. If this layer remains undistributed for a long period of time, chemical, physical, and organic changes take place in it. These changes lead to the formation of soil. Soil formation is not a contribution of a single factor, it's a contribution of many factors. Some of the factors are enlisted here. The first one is climate. Climate decides the rate of weathering and the type of vegetation. The climatic changes like temperature, actions of running water, wind, and glaciers, many factors affect the formation of soils. Second one, topography. Topography of the land decides accumulation of soil. Third one, nature of parent rock. It decides compositions and texture of the soil. Last one, fourth one, vegetation. Vegetation decides the amount of humus available in the soil. These are the factors that affect the formation of soil. By this, we are winding up the second part of this chapter 1, Geography of Class 10. In our third video, that is the third part of this chapter, we will discuss the different types of soil and the methods introduced by the Government of India for the protection of soil. Thank you all. Have a nice day.